Video number 11. Possession of a false governmental document used for purposes of ID, NJ, and possession of the personal identification of another, NJ. What constitutes a violation of these statutes? Generally speaking, the way this comes up a lot is people using either a driver's license that is not issued by government and is therefore a false ID, or people using a driver's license that is the driver's license of another and representing that they are that person or that individual. What are the penalties if convicted of this offense? The first one is a fourth-degree crime. The way this usually comes up is someone has a false driver's license, and when stopped by a police officer, they present it to the police officer as a valid driver's license. A fourth-degree crime is punishable by a fine of up to $10,000, possible jail for a minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 18 months, and of course a felony record for a fourth-degree crime on your state criminal record. The second type of offense, using someone else's ID and saying it's yours, that can be a second-degree crime. A second-degree crime is punishable by a minimum of 5 years, maximum of 10 years prison. Okay, a fine of up to $75,000 and, of course, a serious felony record. Now, there is an exception to the law if the only reason you're using it is to try and get into a bar and you're underage. Okay, there's a specific exception. But it's still a disorderly persons offense, which is punishable by a fine of up to $1,000, possible jail from 0 days to 180 days, and of course a criminal record for a disorderly persons offense, which is a criminal act, which does not rise to the level of a felony. Most people would be more familiar with the term misdemeanor, but we don't use it in New Jersey. Okay, so Mr. Gravatt, my son is 19. He went down to Belmar Bar Anticipation and tried to get in using his older brother's ID. Well, what can you do to help me if we retain you? Oftentimes I can get these kinds of offenses changed from a criminal charge to a non-criminal charge. You still pay a fine, but your son or loved one does not wind up with a 2C criminal conviction on his state police record. If you have a child who, is in college, has an otherwise promising future, you want to protect his ability to earn a good living, get a job, this is the kind of thing you need to do to help him not be excluded from certain types of employment. The main ones I can think of off the top of my head are you could never be a New Jersey school teacher if you have a disorderly persons offense conviction. Many government agencies, cannot hire you if you have a criminal record, that sort of thing. As far as the other one goes, and that's possessing a false driver's license and showing it to a police officer, the gist of that is usually I get that from someone who either doesn't have a valid driver's license or is here as an illegal alien and never got a valid driver's license. They get stopped by a police officer when they're speeding or something like that, and they show it to the police officer. The police officer instantly recognizes that it's a phony ID or a phony license, charges a fourth-degree crime, sometimes more, but that's the general gist of it. Oftentimes I can get that downgraded to something non-criminal as well, but there usually is a driver's license suspension along with that. Anyway, that's what I can do for you if you're charged with these things. Of course, you would have to retain me. I'll be happy to help you. Initial consultations are free of charge. Here's the information again below to how you can contact me, and I would be happy to hear from you if you or anybody you know is stuck with one of these situations. Thank you, and have a nice day.